Hello there and welcome. Today I want to talk about plants and how they have consciousness. I became aware of this only recently when I watched a video that showed how a scientist hooked up a polygraph machine to a plant. The polygraph machine can measure the plant's electrical resistance, which is linked to how the person or plant connected feels. The interesting thing is, it's not just what somebody says or does that affects the plant, it is also what they think. The scientist was merely thinking about fire, and the plant registered a response, probably a distressed response. Knowing that the scientist's thoughts affect the plant's responses, the scientist worked to make an experiment that was completely automated. He also drove some distance away from the plant to make sure that his consciousness did not affect the results. The experiment was to measure the plant's response when a pot of water containing live small sea creatures was tipped into boiling water and the sea creatures died. Once again, the plant showed a response, proving they know a lot more about what's going on than most people think. The scientist invited other scientists to replicate his experiments, but not many responded. It seems the powers that be really don't want us to know this. In another experiment, two cabbage plants were set side by side, and a number of people filed past them. Most of the people just walked past, but one of the people was instructed to destroy one of the plants. The other plant registered a response, and after the act was done, when the people who filed past the plants came near the surviving cabbage plant, no response was registered. When the person who had destroyed one of the cabbage plants came near the surviving plant, a response was registered, meaning the plant not only knows, it remembers too. A Japanese researcher, Masaru Emoto, did work on the different shapes that water makes when different words are said or written on the container that contains the water. Positive words make very beautiful shapes, and negative words make less pleasing shapes. All this is evidence that what we think, say, and do affect reality. In another part of the video, it was said that bacteria that were suspended in water became excited when a coronal mass ejection from the sun was thrown off. It would be reasonable to assume that the bacteria became excited when the coronal mass ejection hit Earth, but it became excited when the coronal mass ejection first emitted from the sun. It was then stated that the sun contains oxygen and hydrogen, which makes water, but water wouldn't be able to exist in such high temperatures, so what's really happening is not known. The founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, did experiments where he proved that when you cut into a tomato, it feels pain. The thing is, you have to eat, and that tomato probably agreed to grow for food. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.